Hello guys, my name is Narsi and welcome to narsicloud.com, a one-stop shop to learn many technologies. Today I will be going over the basic concepts of cloud and what the cloud is and what are the issues that cloud is addressing and how things used to be operated before the cloud came into picture. Um, so in this video, basically the agenda is we will go over the basic concepts. So basically we will take two scenarios and we will apply the traditional approach on those two scenarios, and we will see what the issues are, and next step would be how the cloud is resolving them, and by that by then you will understand what the cloud is and how and why the cloud, and in the final step we will go over the types of services in the cloud. Okay, so let's take our first scenario. uh, let's take up the idea. So I just got this idea that okay, I need to develop a web application. So the purpose of that is to serve the number of restaurants available near you. So that is the whole purpose of that web application. So the first step, what should I do? I have to go and develop it, right? Okay, I will develop it in my local machine. It could be a laptop or desktop. In my personal computer, I will develop it and I will run it locally. And I see that it's running fine. So it doesn't solve the purpose. I have to make it public. So how do I do that? To make it public, I need separate hardware, and I need to estimate number of machines that is required to deploy that application, and I need to set up the whole network across those machines, and I need to set up the whole security across that. So I need to do all this stuff to make it public. Okay, so let's assume that we're gonna do that, right? So in this case, let's imagine, because this is a new application, I don't know how many users are going to use this application at this point on very first day. So I will take, let's say, three machines. Here the machine in the sense one CPU. One machine means one CPU, hard disk, and network interface, right? Let's assume, think that as one computer. One machine means one computer. So I will take three computers, and I will set up in my own data center those three machines, and I will set up all the required things to make it available for public, and then I will deploy it. I'll deploy my application. It's running fine, right? That is one scenario. So keep a note of it, and we'll get back to that scenario again. So in the first scenario, summarizing the first scenario, what we did, we developed the application, and we purchased our own hardware. Um, so we set up our own data center, and we deployed our application to our own data center, and and we made that available to the public. So public is now accessing our application. Fair enough. That is one scenario. And the second scenario would be, let's say I have a company, right? My company is up and running for a while, and I got my own data center already with let's say 20 to, let's say, 30 machines. Mine is kind of medium-sized company, and my in my company data center I have 30 machines running, and my all my applications, company's applications, are running in that data center. So for one of the application, let's take, users are increasing day by day, it's overwhelming, and as people are increasing, my hardware is still constant. It is becoming slower and slower day by day. So what should I do? I have to order for more number of machines, and I need to integrate them into existing data center. So being a medium-sized company, what should I do? I have to go create a purchase order, and that has to go through some department they have to approve it. So let's assume that okay, I've gone through all that process and I purchased a couple of machines and added to the existing data center, and now it increased a little bit of performance. So that's how the second scenario I solved my problem. So summarizing the second scenario, I am uh, I'm having 30 machines in my data center, and my applications are running fine. And people are increasing day by day, and I need to um, purchase a couple of hardware to add to my existing data center, and so that it would serve the purpose, improve the performance of my application. So that is the second scenario. So if you look at the both the scenarios, what have you found? So let's take the first scenario. So here, let's take in the first scenario. One second. Let me clear this. Okay. Okay. So in the first scenario, we ordered for, let's take 3 machines, I guess. So we got 3 machines. 3 machines. Okay. So we just clear that line out there. Okay. So that's our first scenario. So if you look at that, so what are the issues that you see? Right away, I can see a lot of things, right? I have to purchase these 3 machines, so that's not going to happen immediately. I have to put some money into it in advance without even knowing how many users are going to use my application. So I have to do this um estimation. So I have to estimate how much computing capacity I would be needing. So at some point we would end up paying a lot of money in advance. So that is one problem you see right there, right? So let's write that, write the issues actually. So if you could share this here. Okay. So the issues for the first scenario 1, which is website, restaurant website, restaurant finder, right? So I need to let's put some keywords without writing to have complete sentences. The first issue is estimation, right? So I need to estimate how much hardware do I need to deploy this application. So let's, in my case it's just 3 machines, but in bigger companies they would have to buy a lot of machines. So we end up paying a lot of money, in advance. That is one issue. And what is the second one? We need to set up security. We need to take care of security, network setup, all that stuff. As a developer, I might have that knowledge, but not everybody will have that knowledge, right? Even I can't do that. I don't have networking knowledge or security knowledge. As a coding perspective, we know, but from the hardware perspective, most of the developers wouldn't have that knowledge. It's specialized people who is specialized in that particular area would have that knowledge, right? So how do I do that? Being a developer, I would want to build my company, I would want to build my website. So having to set up all these manually by us, that is the issue actually. So it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money investment. um, and what else you see? um, yeah, these are the major issues actually. So estimation, paying a lot of money in advance, and security network setup. um, and if you would want to have a database for your application, right? So you need to purchase a servers separate database servers, and that could take a lot of money too. You'll end up paying a lot of money for that without even knowing number of users. So that is, those are the kind of major three major issues. uh, right away we can see in scenario 1. And coming to scenario 2. Scenario 2, it's a medium-sized company. Medium-sized company, right? Okay. So even here, we would see mostly we would see the similar issues. So in the medium-sized company scenario, we described that we were having 10 machines like this. Sorry, 30 machines like this. All right. So that's fine. That's up and running. Application is up and running. But as people are increasing using our applications, I need to go buy a lot of hardwares like this and keep extending my data center, and that's not going to happen within minutes or in a day. It's going to take number of days. Sometimes it take months, depending on the policy of the company. So mostly here you would see the same kind of issues: estimation and security setup and all that. Companies, they might have separate teams to maintain all this, but as a company, if you see, it's a lot of cost for the company to maintain its own hardware, um, and investing a lot of money in advance. So yeah, if I think that these issues have been running for a while in the software industry, and companies were running like that, it was wasting a lot of money. So how do we resolve these issues? As a user or as a developer, as a company, I don't want to maintain any of this. All I need is, as a developer, let's take a scenario. As a developer, I would want to develop it and take my application public within minutes. So I need someone maintaining the hardware, or I don't know how do they maintain it. I don't care. I have my application files. I want to deploy that to um, somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't know who is going to maintain that. I want someone to provide it as a service. I can just use it and deploy my application there. So that kind of solution wouldn't be great if you have that kind of solution. So assuming that we have it, we don't have to do this estimation. You would still do it, but you don't have to purchase this hardware. You don't have to set up security, network setup, and all that. You don't have to do any of those. And wouldn't it be great if um, as you pay as you go model, um, basically you pay for what you use, right? So it wouldn't be great that if you have the kind of solution, pay as you go. What it means, so for example, for your home, you're using the electricity, right? And you are not maintaining any electrical equipment at your home. You're getting that as, you're getting that as a service, right? So you're just paying what you have used, how many kilowatts of current you use, right? So it's exactly the same scenario, even for the water service or anything. If you take the example of that, you just pay for amount of water that you used for that month, right? Wouldn't it be great if there was a solution that could offer you some computing power and some storage and some database storage? So it's like for your application deployment, you could request for how much computing power you would need for your application. Okay, if I say that I would just need only two machines, each of 2 GB RAM, and so on. So computing power and um, network interface and little database storage, right? So if I have that kind of solution, then all I need is I would just ask someone, okay, let's say someone some A, um, that A is gonna provide me. Okay, here is your this is what you requested for. Okay, I have tons of hardware with me, tons of hardware. It's just like a ocean, and so A, the person A has got ocean of hardware. So as a user, I could just ask A that, hey, I have my application now. I'm ready to deploy it. Okay, I need these uh, this computing power, two machines of this computing power, and I will pay only if I use them, and if I don't use them, I will kill them, and then I won't pay anymore. Is that okay for you? That's what I am asking person A. Person A said, okay, yeah, I'm okay with it. I can give you whatever I have. I have portion of hardware. Like you could use it. So I'm gonna use it. I will try my application, deploy it. Okay, it's working fine. I see that I don't see that users are not coming there. So it's like it's kind of taking time. I'm not seeing a lot of traffic coming in. So okay, I decide okay, this idea might not work, so I will just go ahead and shut down the machines. So I'm not using them now, and I don't have to pay. So whatever I've been describing that person A, saying I said that person A has got ocean of hardware, and he has got all computing power and network connected devices and database storage and regular storage, hard disks. He has got everything. He is maintaining everything. As the users, developers, we don't have to worry about any of that stuff. That person A is what called as cloud. So you guys got the idea what the cloud is? So basically, cloud is just not is nothing but it's a bunch of machines maintaining by someone. So in our example, there are a lot of cloud providers. So one of the most popular one is AWS on this planet today. So AWS started with few services, and they started including lots and lots of services later on, and they've got a lot of services now. It's so using AWS we can build any size company without having to worry about all of these, um, by purchasing machines and setting up, maintaining our own data centers. And today, many companies are just moving to AWS, moving their operations to AWS. So it's very, very simple in AWS. Once you decide that you have an idea, you can quickly develop and deploy it within minutes to and make it public to um, within minutes actually to public. So and that is the basic concept of cloud. So what is cloud now? So the cloud, we can say the cloud is something that which provides network, hardware, storage, computing power, database storage as services. So I repeat, so basically it is providing computing power. So let's take the simple scenario. So basically to run your application, all you need is CPU and network uh, ability, that means network interface, and hard disk, RAM, right? So that's all you need. So the person A, which is cloud, has got a lot of this. So you will take whatever the amount you want, and you can deploy your application. So it's nothing but just providing the internet connected devices as a service. So that's what the cloud is. That's what they're calling as a cloud computing, because we are calling that whole ocean of thing as a cloud, and we are deploying our applications to the cloud, and the computation is happening over there. So that's why we call it as a cloud computing. That's how the cloud computing word came into picture. So and, what else? Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very basic point of cloud. And cloud, there are three types of cloud computing. It's infrastructure as a service, which is IaaS, and platform as a service, PaaS, and software as a service. So I will give you one liner about each of these services, and in the upcoming videos I can give you, we can go detail into each one of them. So IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So name itself is giving the explanation. So infrastructure, what is infrastructure? Um, we can consider its CPU, its hardware, anything related to hardware. We can consider that as a infrastructure. So because we're getting all of that as a service, we named it as infrastructure as a service. That is one type of thing. And the other one is platform as a service. So with the platform as a service, it is like an infrastructure as a service. Here in PaaS, you're gonna get all the tools you require to develop something, to develop software components. You will get infrastructure with the tools installed in it, which we call it as a platform, right? So all you need to do is just use it without having to worry about installing your own softwares. Whatever your software you need, you just go there and see what infrastructure is there with the software install that you need. So that's a platform as a service. And software as a service, it is a latest concept. Like Lambda is one of the concepts in AWS. So basically, software as a service means you provide your code, just the code, and everything will be taken care by cloud. So you just upload your code, and they will take care of the machines, you don't have to even create your own machines. They will just run your code in the cloud. So it's very simple, right? Software service is becoming more and more popular these days. So all you do, just write the code, upload those files to the cloud, and they will take care of scaling your instances horizontally, and it will string the instances depending on the traffic. So that's a pretty cool feature, actually, in my opinion. Those are the three types of cloud services. Um, and Let me see what else I have. I think that is the most of it I would like to cover today. So we will just summarize the concepts quickly. So in today's video, we just have gone through a couple of scenarios. The first scenario is developing your own website and deploying it to the production. And second scenario would be a medium-sized company having their own data center, and when the traffic is increasing day by day, um, how did they resolve that problem? So in the first scenario, how did I take my application to production? I purchased my own hardware, and I set up my own security systems and all networking setup. I did my on my own, and I deployed it. So here the problem is, we have to spend a lot of money in it, and in advance, without even knowing how many users are going to use this application. So I end up paying a lot of amount. So that's a waste of money. In the second scenario, it's the same case. Company has to go through a lot of process to order for new machines, and also they have to set up into the existing data center. That might bring the application down. Not sure, depending on how these been set up. But even then, company end up paying a lot of money in there. So it's a lot of estimation and purchasing. A lot of things are happening before cloud. So once cloud came into picture, cloud made all the things easier. It took care of all hardware and hardware maintenance, network connectivity, security, um, applying security for your machines. It's very simple. It happens in seconds. You don't have to know any of those concepts. It's everything as a service. Once you know the service, um, how to use it, you can do in seconds, actually. So it's that easy. And how the cloud is resolving these issues, because the cloud has got its own hardware in different parts of the world, and um, it got it's like an ocean where you have um, tremendous amount of CPU, tremendous amount of storage, tremendous amount of database storage, tremendous amount of network interface cards. So consider that as an ocean, and that we call it as a cloud. It's unlimited, and it's available everywhere in the world, many places in the world. So most of, and everybody can get to that. You can connect to the cloud, actually. And so what are the advantages that we got out of the cloud? We don't have to end up paying amount in advance. um, we can quickly uh, try the prototype development. So if I want to try experiment something, I can quickly bring up new machines and quickly try in hours, and then shut down those machines, so I don't have to pay anymore after that. So we can do prototypes, and I can take my application to global within minutes. And yeah, so all the security setup and database servers, everything is maintained by cloud. All I have to do is just use them, and the whole backups, database backups, everything will be taken care by cloud. So all these concepts, whatever I've been explaining about cloud, we will see them in reality, in practically we can see them in the upcoming videos. This is the introduction about the cloud. So by now, I think you would have got um, little idea about cloud, what problem it resolved, and by looking at those scenarios, I assume that you got the idea, and also, and after that, what we have discussed, we have gone through three types of services: infrastructure as a service, and platform as a service, and software as a service. Infrastructure as a service means the cloud has got its own infrastructure. It is being provided as a service, and that's why we call it as infrastructure as a service. And the platform as a service is infrastructure with software tools installed in it. That's what called as platform as a service. And the software as a service means it provides a way that you can upload your software, just code, to the cloud, and then it will be run in its own instances. You don't have to worry about how it's being run, but it will be run. And that's what the software as a service is. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and the content in it. um, Please post your comments or questions you have. I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Please provide your feedback so that I will, if it requires, I'll redo the video, or if I will add more concepts to it. It is based on your feedback. And please do subscribe to this channel. And if you like this video, please click on the like button. And I'll meet you guys in the upcoming videos. Thank you. Have a good day.